Hello, it's Moonlight Lotus here, and welcome back to another episode of Gaming Talks. Today's topic: where is Africa in gaming? As a black person, I love seeing black-related things, even more so in gaming, but what I don't really see is Africa. And no, I don't mean as a background or as a map for your sci-fi shooter, but as a culture. I want to see a functioning city, not some ancient room with hidden treasure that someone's going to find. Lara Croft and Nathan Drake, please stay away. Please. You raid tombs and steal shit. I'm not looking for games to give a history lesson about the different countries in Africa, but what I would like to see is different mythologies and cultures used. The same way they used Nordic or Viking culture, whatever, when they made Skyrim. With that being said, I began my search, and it took me many places. I found games that take place in Africa, but not so much about its people. Number one on this list is Halo 3 in Halo ODST. It took place in Mombasa and in Kenya, but that's about it. You see, I like sci-fi stuff. I like cyberpunk. Alright, and I like steampunk. Pretty cool stuff. But Halo's never been much it. Never been in Halo like that. Halo's like the futuristic version of Call of Duty to me. And this is not that deep. It's not remotely what I'm looking for. It uses it as a background to fuck up, basically. It's not even like the places you would think they'd be going. Like there's no cities or towns like that. No. It's Halo we're talking about here. Halo. But if there was ever like a futuristic shooter and it was like Mombasa and Kenya going against each other for like resources or rivalry or land, water, whatever the cause is, it was a fleshed out game with characters that actually gave a fuck about, like augmented humans and alien hybrid children, whatever. That shit would be cool as fuck to me. I play the hell out of it. Do trust. I don't even like shooters like that, but I will play the hell out of it. But this ain't it. This is Master Chief and Aliens. Next. Number 2 on my list is Resident Evil 5. It took place in a made-up African country, which I didn't think this was the case, but I should have thought of it. A lot of books, movies, comic books, video games, music. They'll use made-up African countries. Yes, music. I know. Made-up African countries. I guess this is more like a creative liberty type of thing. Like, oh, I can be as a creative I want to be here. No one's going to fact check my ass. Boom. Look at you. Ends up. That's why it's in, what's the name of the place is called Kaijuju. It was Kijuju, something like that. Kaijuju. The Kaijuju. Now, the game was kind of cool because I like the thought of, a post-apocalyptic world finally featuring Africa or black people in general. Because when in a lot of post-apocalyptic worlds or futuristic sci-fi worlds, you look around at the people, and this is in books, movies, some video games. It's like, all right, where the black folk at? Where the minorities at? Where the Latinos at? Where the Asians at? Where the Arabs? Where the Indians? Where the Native Americans? I see a whole lot of white people though. Are you guys the only ones that made it? Everyone else just got fucked up. All right, that's how it is. But I'm serious. Like you don't really see them often. But to then see a whole country full of black folk and they're all zombies? Shit. I guess they finally gave us the answer. Black folk just don't make it. Damn shame. But no, what I really didn't like about this game was the tribal zombies, the one with the spears and shields and shit in the ancient tombs. I didn't like that shit. It pissed me off. I feel like it was a sneak diss. It's more of a personal thing than actual like diss to than actual complaint about the game. But I just didn't like it as a black person. I guess I don't know. It didn't sit well with me. I was like, nah, bro, nah. But I did manage to find 2 games that take place in and involve African people. So I'm like, yeah, boy. Far Cry 2, the AAA game. It takes place in takes place in a Central African state that's currently in a civil war. The player character is a mercenary sent to find a man called the Jackal, who is selling arms to both sides of the war. Along the way, the player character acts as a deniable agent to both sides of the war. This gives you a mission to go on, and you act as a deniable agent on both sides, which is something I like because you get to learn their reasons and for why they're fighting on this war. You know, you got the rebellion forces and the government forces, whatever, going at each other, and I like that. I think it's a pretty cool idea, and you learn about people along the way. And as I said, I don't need it to be a history lesson filled with accurate facts and shit. I mean, if you are going to use a fact, make sure it's accurate. But I don't mind you making a fantasy world and be like, hey, let's do this. Alright. The next game is Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry. Now, Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry was a DLC for Assassin's Creed Black Flags, but the DLC was so motherfucking good. I mean, it was so motherfucking good that they decided to make it a standalone game. The DLC was just amazeballs. I actually enjoyed it. Now, I know it does not take place in Africa, but I refuse to not show my Caribbean brothers and sisters some love. Them pretty island folk. More specifically, it takes place in Haiti. Also, the game, you're freeing slaves. You're free slaves. You fuck up the trade route. You kill racists. It's winner chicken dinner. Like, you can't go wrong there. You can't go wrong. Now, Assassin's Creed to me as a whole has become it's become the new Call of Duty. The storyline's broke. It's getting repetitive, but this one it put a little spark back in it, a little spark. And it's also something I've been wondering for a while anyway, as you know, where the black folk at? What the Templars do to the black folk? Now, you help out a group called the Maroons, who are freedom fighters, and they're also liberated slaves. So, you know, liberated slaves helping out the next slave. You help me, I help you. We take the fight to the man. The next few games I mentioned are developed by Africans and some with African experience in mind. Sometimes in life, do things yourself if you want it done right, which in this case is the only way I see it getting done. Now, warning right now, I may butcher some of these names. Well, actually one name, the first name. So I apologize to you in your mighty work. Number 1, Kuluya. K-U-L-U-Y-A. Kuluya. As you can see in the image indicated. This game development company is making high-end console games and mobile games with the focus being African players and their experience. Having made over 100 games, I think they've done well at this. They're doing their thing, and one of their notable games is Afro Fighters, which is pretty fun. It's on mobile, and I will be playing it. Now, whether I record it or not, that's a different story. I may not. I don't know yet. Number 2 is Stupid Games. It's stupid. Like, this is stupid, as you see. And the funny part, when I was reading about them, they were like, when you say our name, you sound stupid saying it because it's stupid. Get it? So it's a joke in itself. And they have a, because it's a humor. Had a cough on my eye. The mobile game development company, well known for its extensive developed title Snail Boy, which is a complex puzzle game. Now, Snail Boy, it's their bread and butter. All right, there's like no one that company makes that one game that like this game is so good it will always be connected to this company. Snail Boy is it for them. Now, I've never played Snail Boy, but I don't like puzzle games either, so I may play it just to see what it's like. But I'm not sure. I'm not in the puzzle games. But the artwork does look pretty cool. That I will say. The artwork does look pretty cool. Now, number 3 is Leti Games. And It's no longer called Lady Games, it's called Lady Arts, which I didn't know at the time I was writing the script for this thing, but now it's called Lady Arts. They are developers of The True Anise, a game that revolves around the legend of the West African trickster, which the company reimagined as a comic book and mobile game. They also focus on making comic books based on African characters. And this leads to two things. Number one, if I'm going to reread it for you, revolves around the legend of an African trickster. Now pay attention. And reimagined as a comic book and mobile game. That is what I like. As I'm saying, it doesn't have to be no fact for fact. No, it doesn't be a long, dreary history lesson. But if you can take like 3 African countries, all right next to each other, a big triangle, and mold them and meld them into a game, into like a universe, we'll call it, for the sake of this metaphor, Anuna, alright? And in Anuna, you take parts from each country, their history, their folklore, whatever, and you put it in to this game, to this universe called Anuna, and you make it a lively thing, and it doesn't have... You can see the African themes and focuses. That's what I'm looking for. A game I can say, yeah, it's about my people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I see a faction in the game, I'd be like, oh yeah, those factions are based off Mombasa or Kenya, something like that. Those factions are based off Ghana or Nigeria. Those are the themes they carry. That's what I want to see. Because it would make me happy. It's a matter of representation. And I like the fact that he took a legendary trickster. So something lighthearted and fun. He's a trickster. Imagine him fighting a bad guy, right? He's gonna play trick on you. Like what's a good trickster? Imagine a Joker that's not evil or as crazy, but still do all the little had fun little gadgets and tricks and shit. He just kicking your ass. Think of it like that, maybe. But at the end of the day, Africa is a continent filled with tons and tons of countries. There's a whole lot of inspiration there, whole lot of things you can reimagine, but not erase. Reimagine. Reimagine does not mean you erase shit. You reimagine it and you make it into something, a creative masterpiece. And that's something that I would want to see done with Africa and African culture, and it's so nice to see. Because at the end of the day, it's a matter of representation, and I want to be properly represented. So, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Gaming Talks. Today's question, today we talked about where is Africa in gaming, and our daily question is, what are things you feel are missing in gaming? What are groups that you think aren't fully represented or could be represented better? And for a bonus, on the spot bonus, how do you think it could be done? Let me know in the comments below, or you can hit me with a tweet. I'm on Twitter at MoonlightLotus1. So stay be like, where is Africa in gaming? Answer to the daily question, then you put your answer, something like that. So I know, or just the Gaming Talks number, the video, and I don't know that you're talking about that video, and I'll reply back to you. We can talk about it. Remember, this is Gaming Talks. You talk, I talk, we communicate. Moonlight Lotus here, over and out.
It's the Moonlight Lotus Show. Subscribe below. Leave a comment if you enjoyed. The show is coming to a close. It's the Moonlight Lotus Show.